Welcome back to Binge Buddha, and today we are talking about the greatest rip-offs of a film that changed the way action movies were made and watched, that is, Die Hard.
Die Hard is the best cop movie of all time. One cop heroically saving the day while everyone else stands around and watches.
The film is indeed one of the best cop movies of all time. It is also a great piece of original work, full of exhilarating action, punchlines, and the absolute charisma of Bruce Willis as the N.Y.P.D cop, John McClane. Throughout many years, Die Hard has made 5 movies in the franchise, with 4 different directors. However, it has always been about a man who ends up at the wrong place and the wrong time. Although the last installment of the franchise was a bit of a letdown, it hasn't stopped the franchise from gaining popularity globally, nor from becoming the inspiration for many filmmakers to make the next best Die Hard. Here are our picks for some of the best Die Hard rip-offs from the 90s. But before we begin, please consider subscribing to us. It may be a small click from you, but it goes a long way for us. Let's begin, shall we? Number 1, Air Force One, 1997. President Marshall visited Moscow to send a clear message that the United States of America wouldn't negotiate with terrorists. In an unfortunate turn of events, communist extremists captured Air Force One, the official airplane of the President of the United States of America. The passengers, including Mr. President, his men, his family, are at risk and in mortal danger, but the terrorists didn't know that President Marshall is a former Medal of Honor winner, and he was here to kick some ass. So, while the Vice President negotiates from D.C., the veterans and President Marshall decide to fight the terrorists and rescue the hostages. Harrison Ford made an excellent president, even if it is just in a fictional world. The story is vigorously adventurous and balances the tension with well-choreographed action sequences, clever punchlines,
Get off my plane.
and a strong message. It is no doubt that the film is ahead of its time, but it goes well with how people look up to their leaders, and that is the vision director Wolfgang Petersen wanted to bring forward with Air Force One. The script is tight, the dialogues are witty, and the film goes on to be more and more entertaining as it develops. Air Force One is a great watch. It is closer to Die Hard in essence and feel, simply because it depicts a one-person army standing its ground against extremist villains. Number 2, Speed, 1994. Jack Traven is a rookie at the Los Angeles Police Department SWAT team. On one mission, he encounters a retired explosive expert Howard Payne trying to extort money by threatening to kill people with explosives hidden in a skyscraper's elevator. Jack, along with his partner Detective Harry Temple, stops him, but Howard isn't about a man who gives up that easy. After making a stunning escape, Howard plots to extort the city again and has threatened the authorities to give him $3 million, or he will detonate the bomb, causing a bus packed with passengers to explode once it reaches a speed limit lower than 50 miles per hour. Howard challenges Jack and his partner to engage in a deadly game that may cost innocent lives. The film might sound a little too much like Die Hard, probably because Jan de Bont was the director of photography for the film, but Speed brings in a different heat and excitement than Die Hard. The film is centered around the bus. Once the story establishes the main characters, the plot, and Keanu Reeves' character, Jack, boards the bus, it gets exhilarating. The story and the script aren't original, but the direction is well put forth. It's a divine sensation to watch Dennis Hopper as the cunning villain, period. Sandra Bullock drives the bus just as she navigates her character Annie. She is awkward, innovative, and a little crazy in this film, which works primarily to match Keanu Reeves' character, Jack. Number 3, The Rock, 1996. Marine General Francis Hummel wants recognition and reparation for his fallen men. Although his ideologies seem empathetic, his actions are not. Hummel, along with some other Marines, takes the civilians hostage at the famous impenetrable prison of Alcatraz, where he has stored 13 rockets armed with biological weapons. He demands $100 million in exchange for the hostages, but the Federal Bureau of Investigation has other plans. They send in an elite SEAL team including some trained soldiers, FBI chemical warfare expert Stanley Godspeed, and the only man to ever break out of the Alcatraz, John Mason.
Welcome to the Rock.
The latter has a thing for escaping authorities and breaking laws. Together, they must disarm the bombs and save the hostages. Ed Harris, Nicolas Cage, and Sean Connery star The Rock packs in some heat, but the chemistry between Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery is what supports this film. There is some excellent action, but mostly it is gruesome murders and melting faces. Sean Connery is perfect as an ex-con with redeemable qualities, making the audience sympathize towards his character of John Mason. Director Michael Bay made an action film with the biggest A-listers, and gave them formal training to pick locks, break jaws, and disarm bombs. Still, he also gave them enough freedom to improvise dialogues, and thus even though the characters are big brutes, and you can understand their perspective. It's about newfound friendships and broken loyalties, which unexpectedly makes it a decent film to watch on a guy's night out. Number 4, Cliffhanger, 1993. Gabriel Walker and his estranged friend Hal Tucker get a phony distressed call from a gang of thieves, whose plan was to transfer the stolen money to another plane. But it backfired when the plane crashed, and they were left deserted on a mountain. Gabriel and Hal are forced to work together because 8 months ago, Hal's girlfriend fell to her death because Gabriel's glove slid while she was holding on to him. Gabriel and Tucker both blame Gabriel for the accident, which has left many unresolved feelings amidst the two. This mission sets up impossible situations for them to overcome the hurdles between them, and that might be the only way they can survive being hostage to two ruthless thieves. Cliffhanger is a smartly plotted film with Sylvester Stallone and Michael Rooker. It has everything a good thriller should have, from emotion and high-octane action, to crooked villains. It is an adventure from the beginning and gets better and better, building up excitement and wonder till it leaves you with a marvelous climax. The film is a sincere take on Die Hard, as the cold mountains replace the Nakatomi Tower. What makes this film our pick for the great Die Hard rip-off is that it has one of the best opening sequences and the most suspenseful and emotional climax filled with difficult stunts, special effects, and savvy dialogues. Sylvester Stallone as Gabe Walker is the film's main attraction, but he doesn't overpower the screen time. The other characters prove to be a great addition. Number 5, Under Siege, 1992. Casey Ryback is an ex-Navy SEAL, now working as a cook in the USS Missouri, which is about to be decommissioned. Casey is tasked to cater the surprise birthday party of Captain Adam, and the rock band booked for the party reveals themselves to be mercenaries, with CIA operative William Stranix as their leader. Stranix's mission is to sell the nuclear arsenal on the black market, and he holds the crew hostage while he unloads it, but Ryback wouldn't let him succeed in his mission, creating many hurdles for Stranix, pissing him off. The film is energetic, charismatic, and simply good. As far as Die Hard is concerned, the film transcends the viewer's expectations, and some of the best work from actors like Steven Seagal, Dami Chapa, Patrick O'Neill, and Tommy Lee Jones. Seagal's character Ryback isn't just a cook, he is a trained Navy SEAL, so the action sequences are simply satisfying. That's what gives the audience a good thrill. The film's opening scene was shot on an actual exterior and interior of the USS Alabama before its decommissioning. For legal purposes, the ship's name was changed from Alabama to Missouri. Number 6, Sudden Death, 1995.
Kids, don't try this at home.
A former firefighter and arsonist expert, Darren McCord, takes his 2 kids to Pittsburgh's National Hockey League playoff game, where, in the conference room above, a few high-ranking officials and the Vice President of the United States are held hostage by terrorists. Somehow, Darren's daughter gets caught up in this and joins the hostages in the conference room, causing Darren to take charge of the situation. Meanwhile, the terrorists seek $1 billion in ransom from the government, or they would blow up the building killing everyone, and they had the game's runtime to pay the ransom. One wrong move from Darren will risk his family and the life of the vice president. Sudden Death is a decent attempt at a Die Hard ripoff. The issues lie in the impracticality, but once you forget that, the movie is delightfully crisp and enjoyable. It creates a viable tension between the heroes and the villains. It subtracts the film's slow start with pure action sequences, explosions, and violence, making it a perfect go-to action film. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as Darren McCord bodes well with the heroic character, but the film's real heroes are the perfectly choreographed and performed action sequences and well-timed explosions. Director Peter Hyams's vision delivers a terrific action-packed thriller, with proper homages paid to its original inspiration of Die Hard. Do let us know in the comments what you thought about this video. Did we miss anything? That was all in this video. Stay safe, and have a good one.